estate will treat you well. You're in the know, the market's moving fast. Let's go, 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 go. Care about real estate? Like and subscribe, don't hesitate. Care about real estate? Like and subscribe, don't hesitate. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Welcome you guys to our first episode of Care About Real Estate. I'm your girl Kenya Posey, hashtag the agent that cares. I have a co-host today with me, Ron Olson. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you.
We actually are now sitting in Hattie Marie's where we actually met a couple weeks ago. This is actually going to be one of our host events that we have coming up this Sunday with Keller Williams Family Reunion hosted here in Las Vegas. I'm going to be hosting an event. This year it's going to be a little smaller than last year. Last year we had about 170 some agents, but this year I'm probably going to be about 50 agents here. Again, I had to pivot at the last minute to actually find a spot, and I found my place right at home here at Hattie Marie's. Owner is Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall was NFL Super Bowl champion with the Denver Broncos. He was a former NFL player, so I am glad to be here in his property. I felt at home since I've been in here the first time, like a month or so ago, and we're gonna make this work. It is here. It's time. So let's just get into talking about what's going on in the market right now. I did jot down some numbers because on Wednesdays is my Wednesday day for my numbers at my office. We usually go over the numbers every week on Wednesdays, and so one of the things I wanted to point out is what's going on now number-wise in the market. Right now, for the month of January, closed sales for January was 2,167 sales. Mm-hmm. That's wide for the MLS, for the LVR. Mm-hmm. That's the whole entire MLS system. Now for the week, looking at the weekly at numbers, it's going to be, we had active right now 5,007 single-family homes on the market. That's single-family homes active. And then also under contract, went under contract for this past week is 811 homes. And that's actually up from last week, because last week was 777. Days on the market still ranging in this town 42 to 50, which has been by average for weeks now. 42 to 50 days on the market. Medium home price though, $485,000.
Sure.
And that's a big difference from between real estate back in 2019, 2020. You know, we actually seeing the home prices, rising. That's, it's been rising quite often.
And do you anticipate that home prices will go down in the future or near future?
I don't see it, Ron. I don't see it. Right now, one thing that's been very consistent is the home prices, and they have not gone down. Now, interest rates, on the other hand, we can see the fluctuation of interest rates up and down, but home price has been one consistent thing of actually going up.
Sure, yeah. As much as it would be nice, and we understand the benefit that would be to people if prices go down, it might create a little bit more affordability for certain buyers, but unfortunately it just comes down to supply and demand, right?
Yes.
And we're seeing less supply than there is demand, and that's just causing prices to steadily increase on a regular basis.
Yep, definitely. Like I said, even January, the total houses on the market right now, total statewide for MLS for our Galvar for Las Vegas, 8,800 homes on the market. New listings as of today for new listings is 4,673, and that's up from December. December was 2,792.
And maybe like November, December, those are probably amongst the lower months of the year, right? As far as homes listed and people out shopping and all that.
Yep, it's definitely much slower months. So some people have great Decembers, but again, those months for average, most agents, is a little slower because you have people traveling, vacationing. And I tell people a lot of times, my buyers, now is the time to buy during November, December, those months, because
I agree.
You have less people to, compete against. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, we bought our home in November, and it's just, it's the main benefit, obviously, is the competition.
Yep, definitely. And right now, I think our home supply is like three months right now, basically like 3.2 months on the market as far as home supplies out here in Vegas. So I do have some buyers out now looking, and the most important thing is I tell buyers right now, let's look now and see what we can get and negotiate it on your behalf, because again, if rates were to drop just a tad bit, it's going to be scarcity of people out trying to, buy homes, and we're going to find ourselves in another situation where you're going to be competing, people purchasing homes over the appraisal price points. So now is always a good time for buyers, especially when it comes from if you're ready. I don't want anybody that's not ready. I want you to be ready and understand your numbers.
Yeah.
So
And I'd say spring is right before spring. This time right now is even the most crucial time. So real estate professionals, of course, we always say buy now, right? But I feel like once you hit spring, people start looking at school getting out. That's probably a huge factor, and like, oh, it's time to start looking towards buying the new house. So I feel like right now is when you could probably squeeze in there before that spring rush.
definitely, definitely, definitely. And what I would share with my first time home buyers as well too, the main thing is understanding the numbers. So that's what I want to discuss now with you. What is your process? That's one of my things when I'm working for a lender, my most important thing is making sure that clients being educated, understanding their numbers. I don't want to work with any buyer going out on a contract and they don't know what we're going to be bringing it when it comes to closing table. I discuss the upfront funds, which is going to be your earnest money, your inspection, and your appraisal. And those are the three upfront funds they must have. But there's going to be funding when we get in. It's not just going to be your down payment. It's going to be closing cost expenses. And I make sure that my clients understand and get with the lender. Because again, at the end of the day, I'm the real estate agent. I stay in my lane. The numbers are the specialty with the lender. So talk to me about the numbers. What do you do for your clients?
So you hear a lot. You hear the term pre-approval, which means the lender's reviewed your scenario and confirm you qualify for the loan. But it blows my mind that many lenders leave it at that. They give you a pre-approval letter confirming the amount that you qualify and then send them out to you as the real estate agent to start shopping for homes. Maybe they gave them some estimates on their payment. But if you get pre-approved from a lender and they are not going out of their way to give you details on which loan programs you're going to be using, how much your minimum down payment would be, how much your estimated closing cost would be, they can't determine exact numbers, but give a ballpark, what your payment consists of, what your interest rate would look like, all that stuff. Like if they're not going out of their way to present that to you in a very easy to understand fashion, you should be concerned. Because I always say it this way, like, I don't understand how the lenders can live with themselves not giving that information, because here's what can happen. I'm a lender, I give a pre-approval letter, I confirm they qualify for the loan, which is very, very, very important. I send them out to you, but I didn't give them any other information. You go out and show them 25 homes. They get excited, you go under contract, you find a home, negotiate, tough negotiations with the seller. They get very excited about the house. They say, Kenya, you have to win this house for me. You win the house for them, they go under contract, they give their landlord 30-day notice because they got to be out of their rental, and they think they're going to close their home in 30 days. Come to find out, they didn't even know what was going to be included in their payment, or the HOA was going to be how much, and now they're stressing, like once they're finding all these figures out at the last minute, or maybe the pre-approval was even wrong, and then after all of that, they don't get the home. Now they're stressed because like they've already give their notice and all that. So like, I feel like a broken record saying this, but like the pre-approval process is so crucial. And just because a lender gave you a pre-approval letter does not mean that you're pre-approved, or it does not mean that you fully understand all the figures of the loan. So like that just really has to be broken down, and it has to be correct. It's so important for all those reasons.
Exactly, and like I said, I express that. I mean, any lender I work with, they know I'm very important on when it comes to communication and my clients being educated and knowing their numbers. Because I don't want to go on a contract again, like you said, and have it to cancel a contract and you not understand what's going on, or a buyer gets buyer remorse once they see those numbers when they go out the house. So typically what I do when I'm going out for a house shop, the client really wants to look at, I say contact the lender, see, let's run these numbers, especially when it comes to the HOA, because that plays a factor when it comes to the debt to income ratio.
Sure.
So it's very important that my clients understand the process and their numbers. Very, very important for me.
Sure, especially if you're buying in a home, especially if you're buying a home in a community with a lot of amenities. Like the pre-approval might have been for $400,000, but then you go out and show them like a condo with a gym, a really nice pool, all these services and all that, and come to find out the HOA fees are maybe $600 a month on that one. If it wasn't discussed ahead of time, then the buyer will be surprised with that later, and maybe they don't qualify based on those HOA fees, because even though you qualify for an amount of $400,000, whatever it is, ultimately what you're qualifying for is what the payment would be at that price. So yeah, I mean, and all it takes is the lender just breaking all this stuff down in the pre-approval process, and it puts out those fires before they ever start.
Definitely, and that's the difference between new home as well too. I like to tell a lot of people a lot of times, and I explain to my clients, New homes and resale is two different ball games. My resale lenders, again, we can see face to face. We have those phone calls. When it comes to new homes, because I do a lot of new home construction homes, I explain to my clients, again, unfortunately, you don't have that relationship. And the new home lenders are not that educational.
Yeah.
You know, they don't educate like that because they don't have the time. They don't have
It's not worth their time.
Yeah, it's not worth their time. They have the numbers. The thing is, like, if you know you don't purchase this home, it's going to be another buyer immediately to take over that new home.
Yeah,
So,
they don't feel it's valuable to spend the time to educate you. Because what people don't understand when they go to buy a new build is 9 times out of 10 they're going to be required, not absolutely required, but they're not going to get their incentives that the builder offers unless they use the preferred lender of the builder. So the builder's just feeding in clients to this lender, and so they know that they're going to get these new deals regardless if it's this client or the next one. So they don't spend their time educating the buyer on these very important things. And that's what I hear about all the time.
and that is, like I said, I do a lot of new home construction. No knock on the new home builders, but at the end of the day, I have to explain the difference because it is a very big difference when it comes to knowing the numbers and the process. I've had 2 buyers at new homes, and I'm saying, hey, can I get a hold of the lender? The lenders typically, some lenders won't talk to me. Depends on the builder. Some lenders will not speak to me at all, period. Now, I've had a relationship with some of the builders because I do a lot of new homes. They've actually had a conversation with me, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I need to know my client understands their numbers. Because I've had 2 deals. One deal right at signing, well, my buyer had not really been instructed on his numbers. He didn't understand the numbers. And whether they had the conversation way before, when it came to the closing, it was a done deal. And it was this time last year at family reunion. I'm in conference. I'm getting a phone call saying, hey, we got a problem. And literally, the new build agent, my client is fussing. I'm trying to, come in between, see how I can diffuse the situation. And literally, my client was at the closing table, notaries at his house, and he did not close in this deal last year. Did not close.
You know what? Whether you're the preferred lender, the builder, whatever lender you are, there's absolutely no excuse. No matter how busy you are, there's no excuse to not educate your clients who rely on you for this information on all that stuff. And it's just like all too common, and it just blows my mind that it's even possible.
Yeah, so like I said, things happen. So I explain to my clients all the time, things happen during a transaction. We can be smooth selling, and then at the end of the transaction, something minor can happen. And, the main thing is that you have me here as your agent, going to try to keep everything calm. I'm going to step in and see what I can do to make sure I can get the deal closed. That's most important for me, is making sure my clients are taken care of, getting the deal closed. And if it's not a good fit for the clients, if we can't make it work, we can walk away. On to the next house, something more greater is coming.
Yeah.
So
it comes down to you being the caring agent, or anyone being the caring agent or caring lender. Like, how much do you care about this person? If you're not providing all that info up front, you don't care. It's just like plain and simple. It wasn't worth your time.
Exactly.
But it can make the transaction go so much more smoothly.
Definitely. I want to talk a little bit about, us working together as lenders and real estate agents. We're talking about lenders and, the situations during the transactions. The most important thing for me, like I said earlier, was communication. I'm big on communication. I've been in situations where lenders, they disappear on me when something's going wrong because they feel like they need to solve the problem first.
Yeah.
But, for me, I'm about communication. We need to know what's going on so we can work together as a team. So, what do you think about that situation?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you're not able to get a hold of the lender, you should probably be concerned, because there's probably a problem that they're too scared to tell you about. And when a lender pre-approves a client, they should have checked everything to make sure it's correct and that you don't run into those problems. That's the whole point of a pre-approval. But mistakes happen. There's human error or whatever. But the best thing the lender can do is just answer the phone or pick up the phone before the agent even calls. And I'd say that's helped me build character in the last 13 years. I mean, I've always done that, but and I try to get these pre-approvals right every single time to where there's not a problem. But sometimes things happen out of my control, and I have to be the one to explain the bad news. And regardless of how long I'm doing this, sometimes I'm so scared to call Kenya and tell her, like, we have to fix this major problem on the transaction. But it comes down to the caring again. Like, it's the best thing for these people involved. Plus, then I don't have to have it on my mind every night for the next 4 nights until I finally get the guts to call and tell you about it. So, just call them, tell them about the problem, and say, here are our options to fix the problem. and just move forward the best way you can from there.
Definitely, and I appreciate that. Like I said, I've been in transactions where I'm like, oh God, what's going on? We don't know. Even on the selling side, I mean, this past December, I had a situation with my sales. We were on the contract, and we could not reach even the buyer's agent. Nobody's answering the phone. Lender, buyer's agent. So we were like, okay, wait a minute, something's going on. I am panicking because I know my buyer, I mean, my sellers were ready to get closed for the holidays. We originally wanted to get closed in December. We had to extend, and now it's like coming up on Christmas. We're like, okay, what's going on? And kind of find out at the end of the day, the buyer lost their job, but they had got a new job. So then they had to redo the numbers and had to add on some co-bars. And, we didn't have the information for like a couple of days. And then we were like, got this information. We're glad it's working out, but, you got to communicate because we were panicking. So.
They were probably trying to fix the problem without you knowing about it, but that's just a bad way to go about it. The buyer's agent, the lender, call you and say, Kenya, I can't believe this. The buyer lost their job. They're stressed out about it. But the good news is they've got this new job, plus their dad's willing to co-sign. So we still need to gather all this information and plug it in. They need to get their first pay stub, and then we can get you to closing. But please give us a couple more weeks. I can't believe this happened. What's the harm in saying that? Picking up the phone and calling that.
Yeah.
And saying that to you.
Definitely communication is the key for any good transaction. So again, for me, the relationship between the lender, title company is communication. That gets us transactions so smooth to the closing table.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do. We want to get the transaction smooth to the closing table.
Sure.
So, all right, Ryan, let's talk about the rates. I know right now we talk about the home prices and the median price around 45, but what are you seeing now with the rates? I know a lot of people look to the agents about, we got a crystal ball, we know what the rates are going to look like. We really truly can't tell about the rates or the numbers. Most important thing, we see the trends, but what do you see right now going on with the rates?
Well, a common thing that buyers right now will say is, I'm going to wait for rates to come down. And I understand where they're coming from because higher rates equal higher payments. You got to make sure you can afford the payment. But when we look at over the last few years since rates have gone up, we've seen rates do this: up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So it all comes down to economic factors. The two primary ones right now that are affecting rates are really inflationary numbers. What kind of control are we getting over inflation? So if inflation continues to rise, it's typically bad for mortgage rates. And jobs numbers, which those two kind of go together. So if there's less unemployment, it signals a strong economy, which can also, I wouldn't say it's bad for rates, but it's not a telltale sign that rates are about to go down. So we'll see fluctuation in all these reports and many other factors. So we'll see factors that work in our favor as far as rates go, and we'll see rates are going down. Finally rates are going down. As lenders, we're hoping for this. Buyers, agents, everyone's hoping for it, right? So we'll see rates are finally going down. Then another report will come back that will turn them the other way. So we're seeing that, in several month stints over and over the last few years. So they're sitting somewhere on the 6 and 7s. And so the moral is, make sure if you can't afford your payment, don't go buy at current rates and then worry about getting foreclosed on later or something, or being stressed every day of your life trying to make this payment. But if you can afford the payment at the current rates, I know it sucks, rates are where at there right now, but they may not go down. And so another thing is, we thought in this industry, so rates were in the 3s basically for 10 years with some small increases, and even in the 2s during COVID. And we thought when rates started to go up, that was when we were finally going to see maybe a little bit of break in prices, because maybe that will hurt demand a little bit and that will bring prices down that way. But the demand still exceeds supply in housing even at higher rates. So while you're waiting for rates to go down, we don't really know if that's going to happen. We thought it would have happened sooner, it hasn't. But meanwhile, prices are going up. So that's just something to consider. I hate to be persuasive, but that's a very important thing. If you're considering becoming a home owner, that's something you really need to consider. Is we might be in this market where rates are hovering in the 6 and 7s for a while.
Exactly, and like you said, the housing prices, it's been going up. It's been steady. It's been consistent. That's one thing that's been very consistent for the house prices. And right now we're looking at the fact that here in Vegas, we have several factors we got to look at. We have the new stadium that came open. We have now we got baseball coming. And then we're gonna have a new Hollywood. It's gonna be a smaller Hollywood now come to Vegas. So those facilities are gonna be growing. And then keep our fingers crossed, we may have NBA coming soon. So again, those things that can put a factor when it comes to house pricing. So as you stated, the rates are what the rates are gonna be. most importantly for me, when I purchased back in 2006, the rates were in the sixes. That was never a conversation nobody had with me. My conversation was always about my affordability, how much I can afford as a mortgage payment. I was a single mom, so my main thing was coming from rent and going to a mortgage. Can I afford to purchase this home on my own? And I didn't have any. Nobody was even discussing rates back then. It wasn't even a concern. And I even bought my rate down some with the program I did. But at the end of the day, my thing was about affordability. What can I afford to purchase? And that was going to be my price point. I wasn't going to be able to pay over anything over what I couldn't afford a month. So I tell buyers today is if you're ready, have money saved and you're ready to go, worry about the monthly mortgage payment to make sure you can afford that monthly mortgage payment. Because your first home is really and truly never going to be your forever home. You're going to get something you actually can, make sure you can live in, suits you and your family, but it's not going to be your forever home. And your first home can always be maybe your legacy for your family, building this generational wealth. Working the first home can be your rental property later on in life. But most importantly, that home is going to be generating some income versus rent and never generate any type of income.
Absolutely, and I think that's one thing our generation and younger generations need to consider while we're in this market with rates that are at where they're at, is make sure you can afford the payment. If the home that you love has too high of a payment, I strongly suggest that you consider decreasing the purchase price of your home a little bit. One thing I think about a lot is like my grandparents, my grandparents, they all grew up in smaller homes. So our generation's kind of a little bit bougie. I'm definitely guilty of this, but maybe settle for a little bit smaller home. Make sure it's the home that you need, but if you can settle with one less bedroom, or if you can settle with more square footage, and that will get you into a home comfortably, consider buying, because like you said, it may not be your forever home. You can build equity in that home, and that can help you get to the next home down the road.
Definitely. And I want to say, even my mom, her and my dad purchased their home years ago, and my mom is currently in the same home. And it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, split level home, nice room. We still go home, still got plenty of room for us. But at the end of the day, she's actually rehabbed that home a couple times, did some renovations, based on the fact she was a homeowner. She could do that. As you're renting, you can't do that. My most important thing is I try to tell my buyers is come and get something to make you some wealth. It's about generating some wealth, generating some income into your home. Because again, if I were to go to broke today, I would say is I have an asset. I have my home, so I want to use the word broke. I'm not broke because I have a money making income property there as far as real estate. And so people have to look at that, because at the end of the day, when you come into a pickle, I tell people when you get to a situation where you have to sell, that's income there that you can actually generate, move on. You can always rebuild. There's no thing of not being able to restart over. You can start something over 1,000 times, and it can be better each and every time too.
Yeah. And the other thing to consider is if rates do come down, that will make housing payments technically more affordable, which will drive up demand more than likely, and then home prices will come up even more. So if you buy that home at the current rate, if you can afford the payment and rates do come down, you have the potential to refinance and lower your rate that way. So let's say you have a 7% rate. If rates come down to 5%, you can refinance, basically meaning paying that loan off, establishing a new loan at the lower rate, and that would reflect a lower payment.
Definitely.
One thing we talked about before, which is very important to consider, is if you buy a home right now and you're hoping that rates come down and you can do that refinance, one thing you absolutely need to consider is to keep your credit score good and keep your debt low. So sometimes I see people running into the issue where they bought a home, and of course, maybe you don't have, this is your first home or whatever, you need to furnish it. So they bought all their furniture on credit. Maybe they needed to buy a new car after. And now when they go back to refinance, because they have more debt payments, it's difficult for them to qualify. So in this market where we have those higher rates, you really need to consider that in anticipation of being able to refinance down the road.
And I'm glad you said that, because as agents, as us, one of the first things we tell our clients, do not buy no furniture, no appliances, and especially no car during this process until you get the keys in your hand. But now you're right, we got to consider the fact that they may run into situations where it comes to the interest rates might be a little higher for them to even afford the affordability of the house when they get ready to refinance. So definitely thank you for letting me know that. That's something I will start sharing my buyers. Y'all listen to that now. We got to still think about that debt to income ratio with these rates. So that way we have to refinance later on. We got to be able to afford it as well too.
Sure. Yeah, and that's something I've been trying to consider more, educating my buyers on lately too, because That's the advice you're always told when buying a house. Don't buy any cars, don't apply for any credit till you close. And that's true because that will help you get in the home. But yeah, in this market, you need to consider that so that you have the ability to lower your payment later.
All right, good info. Good info. I like that. I like that. So moving on, let's talk about why we're here at Hattie Marie's. One of the things is, like I said, when we first originally met, we came here to Hattie Marie's. We had lunch here a couple weeks ago, and I introduced you about my event I have coming up, which is going to be held here in Hattie Marie's on Sunday, February the 16th. It is going to be a collaboration networking event for agents with Keller Williams. I actually open it up for other agents on social media as well too to stop by, come have some food and drink and have a good time. We're going to have a DJ on set. We're going to have live music. And again, we have our sponsors. And thank for you, Ron, for coming and being one of my sponsors. Again, I was in the pickle this year, coming in 30 days, planning everything out. I got my sponsor with yourself. I have my Stewart Title is going to be one of my sponsors. And we have Custom Fitting is going to be actually one of our sponsors as well, too. So I appreciate her coming in end of the day to come in as well too to do one of the sponsorships. So sponsorships are very important when it comes to events like this because it costs money.
Sure.
It costs money. A lot of people look at real estate agents thinking, oh, they got the money. And a lot of times when with the market, as the market's up and down for you guys, it's up and down for us too when it comes to business. And I'm just I'm a solo agent. So
yeah, and this is a cool venue for this. It's like the perfect setup to have an event. We got the bar right there, the downstairs, got this cool upstairs area. So I'm excited for it.
I am too. Like I said, I feel right at home here. I appreciate, like I said again, Brandon allowing us to come into his space. I've been trying to market. I've been marketing as well for the business as well, and making sure that people know about it. Because originally I didn't know about it at all. Like I said, my title company had actually originally told me about the spot. So I'm just grateful and thankful for being able to stumble across this and being able to do the event here. So I'm just looking forward to Sunday. A little nervous, get a little stressed when it comes to events a lot of times because there's so much to do. You want to make sure everybody's happy, so you want to make sure, when you have a lot many people coming into town, everybody's taken care of. So I'm looking forward. We're going to have a good time.
Another reason this is a good venue is because it's right off Las Vegas Boulevard, which people traveling here might be staying on the Strip or whatever.
Yep, definitely. Our convention's at Mandalay Bay, so it's like only a couple minutes up the street. So good location for them to shoot down here and have a good time and hang out with some other agents. A lot of time, my referral partners, these are the first time we're meeting people face to face. We can actually see them on social media. We can have phone calls, but coming to events like this, we actually can meet them face to face. And you get the vibe with those clients. You get, real estate professionals that you work with, your referral partners, because you want to see how you're a good fit for one another.
Sure.
See how they actually interact with other agents as well too around you.
Yeah, that's always fun when you know someone electronically or over the phone. You've worked with them, and then you finally meet them in person. So. Sure, that'll be fun for you this weekend.
And hopefully, like I said, for me, hashtag the agent that cares, hopefully I portray what I show on social media, because a lot of times, I will say, a lot of people are a little different when you see them face to face. So, but for me, I make sure that I'm very consistent. Sure. I show up, I support, and again, for my clients and my business, I make sure that I'm putting 100% in here.
Absolutely, yeah.
But Ron, I thank you for your time today. We're going to get this episode 1.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you being my first co-host. You're going to be back on here plenty more times. Again, I see you on Sunday. We're actually going to do another podcast on Sunday, so I have you again on Sunday. And again, we're going to actually meet some other agents from across the globe, give them a little location to see where they are and what type of service they do as well too. For me, one of the things I did want to add, my clientele is every clientele. For locally here, I'm the regional sports and entertainment ambassador for Keller Williams. I'm in Keller Williams Luxury. But I also do all price point, first home buyers. I do a lot of veterans. 80% of my clients are veterans because I was the case manager at Nellis Air Force Base for quite a period of time. So again, I appreciate, having that background and being able to, that vast majority of people, where I'm not in this bubble of just treating one particular client. All right, you guys, this wraps up episode 1 of Care About Real Estate. I hope you guys had a great time joining in and tuning in with us. Be sure to check me out on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe as well. Subscribe to my podcast. We have many more to come. You guys know how to reach me. Hashtag the agent that cares. Here we actually closed a deal with a
Yep.
client.
Yep.
This year, February 19th, coming up, we have another deal
Yep.
with the same client,
The same exact
closing
client.
that same property because she
Yep.
has to relocate back to
Yep.
where you need to be.
Yep.
And so most importantly is like the the client actually came back, followed back up with you, that you knew her situation, that she needed to relocate. You guys connected us back together. She's gonna have my daughter on here, and she's gonna be doing my filming for me on the YouTube channel as I'm actually going around right now doing a tour for TikTok. So I thought YouTube wanted me to turn the other way, but apparently it wants me to have it this way. So we are now in this gorgeous kitchen. This is the Robert plan, lot 11, but this is the kitchen setup here. So we are in the Robert. Let me go over here as I'm talking. We are in the Robert Lot 11. The floor plan is the Robert. This is I'll give you guys more information about the address. If you want more information about the addresses, you can reach out to me. But this is elevation B. It's approximately around 4,000 square feet. It's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, and this is a 3-car garage. So right now we are in this great open floor plan of the kitchen. And it has a double oven. It has your chef kitchen. I like the accented gold and black appliances here so you guys can see this here. And I'm getting ready to give my daughter the phone for my TikTok followers. You guys come on in. We are, again, this actually sitting on almost a half an acre. And I will confirm that with you guys in a few, but I want to say it's almost a half an acre lot here. This is considered the southwest area of Vegas. Again, we're just going to take you guys on a tour here shortly.
Okay.
Follow me on you talking. I've got my daughter on one phone, so you guys bear with me because sometimes she doesn't listen. So, Jazz, let's keep it just following around with me. Right now, this is, as you guys can see, it has the full wall cover of the actual sliders. They actually can slide all in and have like you're on a open floor plan. I said no talking. The island does have, as y'all can see, it's a great big island here for entertainment. It does have outlets here on it. With the outlets, I don't see any extra storage space on this, so maybe they got storage space on the other side. And we're gonna stay here beside me. So sorry to talk to y'all all over the place. I need her to stay beside me and she's gonna film. All right, so we got stainless steel appliances. So let's see if they have soft close. I can already tell you now. It is soft close, but it is a little hard to open these up. But they actually do have soft close. So all of your storage space is going to be here on this side of the island. You have your form sink. And as you can see, you'll be here, cooking, entertaining. Everybody's going to be out this way. So your sink is here as you're washing. I like to see islands with USB plugs. I do not see that here, but they do have outlets and plugs around the island here. Don't invite nobody in to create anything. You need to keep your camera here. We're not inviting anybody in as creators on the filming of the tours. So I love the features when they have the USB ports. So that'd be simple. You can actually have an electrician come in and switch that out for you. 'Cause I think those are very useful. And they do have the GFC outlets on the back walls, but again, I don't see any USB plug outlets. And that's been a game changer in most kitchens, those USB outlets for your phone plug-ins. Um, so you actually have your professional standard fridge and freezer. So on this particular model here, you don't have your outside dispensaries as far as your water and your ice maker. So everything's gonna actually be enclosed in. So keep that in mind if that's something you're used to. I know for me, I was used to that. And when we got our refrigerator similar to this one, it's about the same size. I miss out on having the water dispenser and ice maker on the outside. But again, the size of the refrigerator and the freezer are lots of storage space. So again, we're gonna go here from the kitchen. There is a walk-in pantry here. So you have your nice size pantry here for you. You have lighting in here. You actually have access to the attic as well too. So again, nice size pantry. Before we go to the actual additional prep kitchen area, we're going to just take a further look here in the kitchen. Open up some of the cabinets, they close. And they actually have pretty much up to the ceiling cabinetry. And again, this is the Robert model. It's around 4,000 square feet. It is 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. This does have a 7-burner stove. Double oven there. I like the gold accents if y'all want to go in a little closer. Goes a lot of gold accents. I love how they have the backsplash in from coming actually from the countertops going in with your backsplash. Again, your double oven actually has a nice little clock on there. These are stainless steel appliances by Monogram. Now, again, lots of other storage space here. Plenty of storage space. Definitely, you actually can use this as a other pantry if you wanted to. So let's just open this up really. So that actually can be a whole nother pantry area for you if you didn't think the other pantry was large enough for you. And it's all closed as well. And again, this is a 3-car garage. Let's just walk back through the kitchen. I love the pendant lights they have here as well too. And this home is actually ready to be moved in. So you want more information and details exactly the purchase, and let's write an offer up, because again, this home has been sitting it's been finished for a second. So we definitely can get you a great deal on this home. Just reach out to me and we can definitely write up an offer. So we're gonna leave out the kitchen and now go back into the actual prep kitchen area here. Some people call it prep and some people call it the butler area station. But again, you have more storage here, another sink, a little small fridge there for any wineries or any other drinks. You have an ice maker. It actually comes with an ice maker. Open that back up, Chaz, so we can see the ice maker.
This ice
That's
maker?
the nice, good ice, and that's the ice I love. That's that nice, soft, Sonic ice. I used to have that a lot when I was pregnant, so definitely love that ice. And again, this is going to be your mudroom coming in, pulling through the actual cabinetry and the countertops are coming through here. And I like the gold tone that's coming out of the countertop stone.
Very gorgeous.
And again, this is the actual entry door from the 3-car garage. So then here is your laundry room. Lots of storage here as well too. You have your backsplash. Closet's not included, but we can, hey, come right off with me. We can see if we can get worked out for you when it comes to the appliances. They actually, in the laundry room, they have a sink. I always, if you actually follow me, I love the sink in the laundry room. It actually allows you to wash those clothes out that need to have that extra rinse on their own. Also, clothes you don't want to take to the dry cleaners, but you want to hand wash them. Definitely a plus to have in the laundry room. So this is actually going to lead into the primary. So this is their closet. It's actually going to take them into the laundry room. So your primary closet is going to actually lead you into the laundry room. And then to the garage as well too. So the garage is that way. So my daughter has left me. She's on my TikTok, you guys, and she's trying to do her own commentary. So in here is the primary. And what you've been seeing lately a lot in most new homes are the tub and the shower in one area. What do y'all think about that? I'm not sure I'm a fan of that, but it does give you the space so that way you're not taking away. I've seen another new home that actually had the tub out here and the shower there, so the tub was actually taking up the feature and the look from the shower because they had the tub right here in front of the shower. So what they did here was, again, what most builders are doing, they're putting the tub in inside the shower area. You actually do have one rain head, overhead shower head. Storage place for your shampoos, soaps, and items. I like this feature because, again, I do have a large walk-in shower as well, and I don't have this feature. I have a large bench, but I have to buy baskets that I place my shampoo and items in. So I like this feature being built into the wall. And again, you have your...
This goes into a closet.
Then you actually have an additional closet into the primary. So there's actually 2 closets here. Your countertop for storage, folding. This can be your area from folding clothes. So your laundry room is back through there. You can actually come right here with those clothes so they don't go end up in your bed for days. And they actually can be placed right here. If you know me, I like to keep things probably in the basket for a day or two. I start the new year off saying I'm going to fold the clothes as soon as they come out of the dryer, and then I would say, as time goes by and life gets busy, that doesn't happen. So hold on, you guys, I'll be right back. But take a look at this gorgeous double sink area, lots of storage. My daughter has left me and she's talking on TikTok. So, again, stay with me, please.
We used to use a spot for way too long. Okay. Wait.
All right, so we are in the primary, still in the primary bath. They have double sinks here. They have the black accents finishes here. I like the mirrors being separated out. That gives it more character, I think, for myself. They have the lighting features there. I'm not sure if anybody can see those, but they do have a single lighting feature there versus the different bulbs. I do think that's cute because it goes along with the actual, the flow of the bathroom. What I do not see is a medicine cabinet on the sides here. So it looks like either they opted out not doing the medicine cabinets, because you do have a lot of storage here, but I wonder, yeah, no medicine cabinets here. So you have extra storage space. You have your I don't see what USB plugs. So y'all have to take a look at, most builders are now putting USB plugs in their kitchen and into their bathroom. So or charging stations for their phones, but I don't see that here. Okay, that's the additional closet there for the primary. So
Okay.
the primary has an entry from the kitchen area. So the primary has an entry from the kitchen area, also from the laundry room and bathroom.
And we're heading
So
into
now-
the bedroom.
This is the primary.
Very good.
So the primary has the look of the outside. Has a slider here. And again, let's take a look at,
This is a very big backyard. You can fit
I wonder, is there anybody, this community is fairly new. I think some of the homeowners only have been here for like a couple months. Not sure if anybody had time to do anything to their backyard as of yet, but that is definitely, that's definitely, a nice size backyard to entertain. Again, you have your covered patio over here, so we take a look at that as well too, so. I don't think you have a choice but to put a pool out there, but you guys give me your other ideas. Or you can actually do another casita home back there as well too. You definitely have room for that. Definitely a pool house if you want to put a pool back here. And remember, the pool can't be so large, and I forgot the actual depth of the pool now, but, and width of the pool, it can't be but a certain size now, so they didn't get grandfathered in over here as well. They did not get grandfathered in, so you will have a lot of yard space to entertain, do what you need to do. Like I said, I can definitely see a casita or a pool house being built back there. I gotta go around to the side of the house, because there may be, I wonder if there's an entryway where you actually have enough RV space where you actually have a RV parking as well back here, but definitely you have a nice lot size to where you can actually do what you want to do back here. And only one neighbor on the back side of you, one neighbor on the side, because you are on the corner. This is a corner lot home. Again, this is 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. So let's move on. This is primary. Got a tray ceiling here. And again, this was coming from the primary, from the kitchen area. So let's go check out
The other side of the house.
the other side of the house, as Jazz says. So looks like we're gonna have about 3 bedrooms on this one side. So let's just go check them out.
We'll start over here there.
Let's start to the left.
Okay. This side of the left in this kid-sized bedroom.
You would call this a kid-sized bedroom, but this is a nice-sized bedroom.
Closet.
They had a can lights in here.
Here's
This
the
is broken there, but
bathroom.
definitely a nice size bedroom. Dimensions probably look around
Tub.
12 by 14.
Same as our house.
But definitely have room for a king-size bed. They actually have sinks in the bathroom here, so the Jack and Jill bathroom here.
It connects to our other bedroom.
And again, I love how they have the nooks in the sink for you to be able to house your shampoos and lotion area. So I like that feature. This bedroom mirrors the other bedroom size, but it does just have a sliding door closet. So standard size closet here. Can lights, you actually have room to place a ceiling fan up there as well. So if you want to put a ceiling fan in this room, you could do so. And again, I don't see any medicine cabinets, so they're giving y'all a lot of space for you to do what you need to do in your actual storage areas, but not with the medicine cabinet. All right, so this is bedroom number 4 we're walking into. So bedroom number 4 has a walk-in closet. I could see a little desk area right here. So the 4th bedroom actually has an entry,
To the bathroom.
which actually has a suite. So it has an inward suite. So, and it has an entry from the outside with a slider. So you can actually use this as a multi-gym, because they actually can come in from that side of the house to this back door possibly. And they have their own shower and sink. So this is a suite bedroom. They have a like how they have again, they have the glass storage areas up there for you to put your shampoo items there. So a lot of builders miss that because again, you want to have that storage space in your shower and in your tub area for your shampoo spaces when you're actually in the shower, and a lot of them don't have that to where you have to have additional features added on or something hanging from your shower head to house that. So again, they got a view of the outside, or they have an entry from the outside from this bedroom here. Also, you can actually use this bedroom if you actually get a pool, you can actually use this bedroom if you don't want them going through your primary. They can come in, rinse off, and shower into that bathroom space there.
We're reading all the bedrooms now.
So that was all the bedroom features. Decline. Thank you. No, we still have other great rooms. So you have your family open space there. This is going to be your office space if you want to put an office here. Or no, that's your dining room. I'm sorry. Because you have your lighting there for your dining room. This is the office. Double doors for the office here.
Now I'm coming into like the bathroom.
So that's your.
Very basic.
So then there's a powder room bathroom here, nice size.
Your office.
And this is going to be another den, sitting room, entertainment room.
This is like the chill area where you chill.
Well, Jazz has a chill area where you chill out. So
Like a little bit or like a family sitting room or something.
they actually had it darkened out, possibly to make it a movie room, but it is a double door entry as well. There's a double door entry here to the office area as well too. And again, like I said, your formal dining room, I'm sorry you guys, that's a formal dining room here versus the office. The office is right here with the double doors.
You can make that a living room and then the set.
And this is the entry of the house. So let's just walk through this way from the dining room back to from the prep kitchen area here. And let's take a look into the garage.
First garage.
So you have lots of space, lots of storage space. I will say I like the setup of this garage. Definitely lots of storage space here. Lots of storage space. You actually can put some storage bins built in here. One of my clients actually did some built-in storage bins, and the guy was a reasonable price too. And they actually have all her holiday decor is built in on shelves on her back wall. This is a tankless water heater. This is for your actual water softener here. I will recommend that they say contact the vendors that they have hanging from the actual water softeners, but you actually recommend it. I would recommend you actually just purchase your own water softener through Home Depot. Save you a lot of money and hire a plumber to place it in. Those water softener companies actually come in and charge you thousands of dollars for that, when you can actually go purchase your own water softener from Home Depot. You can actually purchase that from Home Depot, water softener, for a couple $100 and pay a plumber to come in for a couple hours and put that water softener in, save you thousands of dollars. They actually have a side door entry here that takes you out of the garage or into the garage. I like having that extra side door from the garage. So This is the garage, lots of space, lots of room for cars, for all your vehicles to get in here, fit in here, and not be crammed not crammed up in here. So let's just go back in here. And again, that was the tour of this home.
Very nice, really gorgeous.
So we do have another property we're gonna go see. Let's go see what the next property is going to be. But I'm gonna do some filming in here real quick before I actually go to the next property. We're gonna go to lot 5, just a house. It is 3 bedrooms, 3.5, 3-car garage. And it's only 2,600 square feet. Right now, we're in a Robert. It's lot 11, and it is over 4,000 square feet. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and 3-car garage. And it's, almost like go back to the builder themselves, but again, we're just here doing some filming live, doing some tours of the new home that is over here in the southwest area. Gorgeous, gorgeous kitchen. Love this kitchen. But they actually do have some side cabinets here, storage cases here. I don't think that's on the other side. Let's confirm it's on the other side or not. It's not on the front side at all. So the sides do have storage on the side. On the side, but not the front. So you actually have storage space here, but not on the actual front side of the island. So again, lots of storage space. So what we're going to go shortly over to lot number 5. It is 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 3-car garage, 2,600 square feet. Right now we are in the Robert, which is a little over 4,000 square feet. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 3-car garage. And what I liked about this home, I like the primary has his own side of the house, and the other 3 bedrooms are all on their side of the house. And the person who actually has the inlet suite back there actually has entry from the back of the house. So again, you can actually make this a multi-gen home if you choose to. Because again, when you come into this home, you have your family sitting room here. Like I said, you can actually turn that into, you can split that out possibly to a movie room and another entertainment room. You have your office space here. So there's your office space. Your dining room. And we didn't even say too much about the courtyard you have when you come into the property. We came in through the courtyard here, so you have your covered front porch. You have another seat area here in the front of the house. Lots of space for entertaining. You can take this one out to the front of the house. Let them see the front of the house. Yes, please. So you have the gate. So again, you have another seating area here as well. So you have your gate entry there. Covered front porch. You can actually have seating here up on your front porch. And I am from North Carolina, so we love to sit on our front porches on a cool day. So if you know anybody looking to purchase a south or the southwest area right here off the 15, off of Silverado Ranch, right in the offer. This house has been sitting, so we can definitely write our own offer up, negotiating in what we want to get negotiated into our contract. The builder definitely will entertain our offer. So you guys know how to find me. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Care About Real Estate, Kenya Posey Realtor. Also, you can go out to my new website, careaboutrealestate.com. On my website, careaboutrealestate.com, you can also have a feature of the mortgage calculator, investor calculators out there as well. Also, you can be sure to sign up for any updates and details, especially homeowners. Y'all want to get any updates and details and keep a lookout on the market in your community. I can actually have you set up on a monthly newsletter and system to actually watch. I got some of my clients who actually watch their communities every week to see what's going on in their community. So if you want that information as well, you can be able to. You can actually go out to my website again at careaboutrealestate.com and request that information, request a call back. But be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow careaboutrealestate.com, Kenya Posey Realtor as well. Hashtag the agent that cares. You can follow me on all my social media platforms. LinkedIn, I've been neglecting for a while, but we're going to now start being a little more active on a LinkedIn account. But again, if you want to offer for this particular property, give me a call at 702-401-8733. That's 702-401-8733. Kenya Posey, hashtag the agent that cares. So we're going to actually do some actual filming here. You can leave TikTok there, but I'm actually going to do some filming here in 1 second on this phone here before we go over to the other model home, which is on lot 5. That model is called the PAL. So give me 1 moment, but like I said, be sure to like, share, subscribe to YouTube channel. We would be doing some tours here. TikTok, we're actually going to stay here with you guys for a little while longer while we actually go over to see the other model home, but I'm going to do some more quick filming here, social media, my other pages that aren't live with me. But again, this is a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 3-car garage, a little over 4,000 square feet. I didn't even look at the ceilings, you guys. Look at the ceilings they have in here. I think this is 11-foot ceiling feature here. So again, you guys just don't really want to take out that here, the primary area.
Sorry, buddy. Oh, that's sad. Steps. So we'll give you guys one to stay out to. So we're going to sign off of here so we can actually do some filming.
here, but be sure to follow the YouTube channel here. Have a good one.